It took 6 months. We trained without rest, using rudimentary weapons I prepared in the evenings. Every time the sun set, the likelihood of seeing our families grew ever smaller. Our first step was to go and scout our village. It had become a Nishoko camp. It was guarded by at most 10 men. Taking it would be risky, but we had waited too long. Anger was burning in our eyes, a molten metal flowing from furnaces in our skulls. We crept in by daylight at noon, when the shadow essence would be at its weakest. Our first priority was to look for survivors. I still can't find the words to describe what we found. The inside of the temple. After scouting the village, we noticed that the temple to Amaterasu was boarded up and locked. Its door destroyed, blocking any entry. Sora noticed this. Sora noticed this stood out from the rest of the village, so we decided to investigate. Squeezing through the cracks in the rubble, we were struck by a foul stench. Besides Amaterasu's great statue, nothing was visible in the darkness. We could feel the fumes, the rot, permeating our skin. Eventually our eyes got used to the dark. In the shades were bodies, strewn random or in piles or shackled to the walls. The ones that had survived the Nishoku attack were here, but they weren't survivors. Family, friends, colleagues, all stuffed, rotting into the very building where we paid respects to our goddess. In coming years, we would discover that Nishoku's men had performed horrible experiments on the prisoners they took, research into what made our command of the light essence so powerful. The emptiness we felt in the mountains after the attack returned. Words, language, meaning left us. We felt everything and nothing. Ryo and Hikaru couldn't stop watching the corpses. I didn't dare. I could feel my mind fraying at the seams. Sitting with my eyes shut tight, suddenly there was an explosion. Sora and I turned to find Ryo and Hikaru gone. The temple's buckled entrance was blown open. The taste of vengeance. We left the temple immediately and caught a glimpse of Ryo and Hikaru's figures leaping across the rooftops. The Nishoku guards came running. Ryo and Hikaru. I've never seen men fight like that, before or since. They went berserk, leaping on Nishoku soldiers like tigers, tearing our throats, faces, chests. Sora and I ran after them, trying to keep up, but they were inhumanly fast. The Nishoku men didn't stand a chance. They didn't expect any sort of attack, let alone a full frontal assault in plain daylight in an isolated village from 4 kids. After a few minutes we realized they were all dead. All of the Nishoku men. And that was it. The moment we had all been dreaming of for almost a year. The moment we took control and avenged our village. But it didn't feel like we had imagined it. Not at all. A vast world. We were lost again, but unlike our lonely journey into the wild, we were safe at home, where our lives and history were in rotting tatters. Defeating our village's attackers resulted in the same outcome, loneliness. But now with the weight of those dead men weighing heavily upon us. We almost didn't notice when Kibo appeared in the skies. His broad black form was like the very embodiment of Amaterasu's messenger, bringing us hope. Master Tsuyoshi had sent Kibo to check on the village. The sage had created a link between his soul and the bird, so we knew following Kibo on his long flight home would be a safe decision. We set off, without speaking a word between us, walking just behind his shadow. As we walked, our eyes opened. More and more, hour upon hour, day upon day, we realized a vast world was in front of us. We didn't trust or even speak to anyone to begin with, but every new place and culture we encountered fascinated us. Weeks later, we understood our place in a bigger picture, in a larger conflict. The seed of Kaiho. The more we traveled, the more we saw, the more we learned, the more we realized how deep and broad the scars left by Nishoku were. Whatever. Across the entire continent. They said Nishoku were born from an ancient guild of assassins, a sect with hundreds of followers. Their leader, whom they called the Shadow Empress, was considered a goddess. They said her power was extraordinary. Her objective was apparently nothing less than the destruction of all light brotherhoods they could find, but they made no distinctions. Any non-darkness guild would fall at their feet. On the road we met one broken family after another, entire cultures that had met the same fate as our own. But we met people who wanted to fight back too, people that wanted to revenge their loved ones, people who wanted their lives back, people who wanted to live without fear. They had the will but lacked the guidance. They needed a common leader.
Okay, now I think I understand the timeline. But bloody heck. Yeah. is one revenge after another.
Yeah, an eye for an eye for an eye for an eye,
Yeah,
until everyone is left blind.
yeah. So this is a case of like some fella that attacked her family, which then escalated to this, and then one dude went to that village, which escalated to that, and yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah. People being wronged and in turn wronging others who will then inflict wrongs upon even others still. We encounter. 18 months had passed since our journey began. Seeing the wreckage left in Nishoku's wake, we grew in strength and wisdom and learned just how much damage Nishoku had caused. Eventually, after following Kibo for months, he began descending rapidly, rushing to his final destination. As we reached where Kibo had landed, we were greeted by this bright smile of Master Tsuyoshi. We greeted him again. Meeting him again almost felt like coming home. We talked. We talked for a long time about the past few months, about what Nishoku had done to the world. The master had seen their work firsthand too. In fact, he had left us because his brotherhood had given him a mission, teaching the command of life essence to all brotherhoods under Nishoku attack, just to give them a slightly better chance. But licking wounds wasn't the solution. Sooner or later, someone had to do something, and the master knew it. When we told him that we were determined to lead a counterattack, he hardly looked surprised. After a short pause, he said, "Well, your classes start tomorrow." The last resort. Master Tsuyoshi had taught us the basics of manipulating life essence. I had read legends about it, but still the countless uses Master Tsuyoshi revealed amazed me. He taught us how to control our inner peace, how to block the inner peace of others, how to heal any wounds. There is little wonder why he was considered a sage. For a light adept like me, using any essence was like trying to write with the wrong hand. I must say, however, that yours truly was the first to attune to it, and with ease. Braggart. This new essence took the form of a green flame when summoned. It felt like spring water rippling through your soul. Peaceful. That is, until the master taught us how to apply it in combat. Applied to combat, life essence allows one to heal wounds at incredible speed. But it doesn't end there. Certain techniques allow you to transfer a part of your own soul to someone else, and vice versa, temporarily. So he started teaching them the forbidden technique. You can empower yourself with another soul and drain their own essence. But this technique is difficult to control. Breaking the body-soul balance like that, the potential consequences were terrifying. And just when we thought we had learned all we could, when we thought Master Tsuyoshi teachings was slowing down, he gave us one last piece of wisdom. The technique I'm going to show you now was branded as forbidden long ago. Okay, so it was a weaker version. He said, "It is risky, dangerous. It should only be used as a last resort. If all else fails, it could help you defeat the Shadow Empress." Building an army. Once we finished training with Master Tsuyoshi, we started recruiting. We already had allies from the various villages and cities we had passed through, and after reaching out to those we met, the word spread and others started to come to us. There were adepts from all the clans, of various essences and practices, even people who weren't adepts. Not all of them were ready to fight, but most of them had potential. Only one thing was missing from our preparations: light. Teaching people to use light, our best offense against Nishoku's shadow, would take years we didn't have. We only had we only had time for the basics. That wouldn't be enough. And I came up with an idea. During our travels, we had found huge veins of a rare mineral called Icalcum. Sounds a bit similar to orichalcum, which
Yeah, I
can
was because
store and go ahead.
I would say I think I agree with you. I thought the same thing. I guess it's a bit of a reference to it.
Could be, which can store and emit light essence. If we could infuse our army's weapons with Icalcum, it would barely matter how inept a soldier was with light essence. Our light charge would empower them. I tested it, and it proved successful. I even infused our 4 weapons with the mineral as well. This simple action would make the difference in the war to come. After 6 months of preparation, our army was ready. With Yo, Hikaru, Sora, and I as its leaders, our newly formed brotherhood was ready to put an end to Nishoku's reign. Kaiho was born. Okay, so that's how all of their soldiers can use those things to just blast us. They aren't all well, benders, as you could say it in like uh good, as in like the world of Avatar, Last Airbender, and Legend of Korra stuff. Uh, they can't just be normal guys and who just get to wield a magic weapon. The war to come. Now it's timed. March 20, year 10 of the Sixth Age. The last preparations have been made. We depart next week. I hardly can sleep. My heart is in my throat. This is the moment we all have been waiting for. At least recalling these memories, all that we have achieved, has calmed me a little. Looking back, the change within us gives me strength. From children living blissfully ignorant of how big the world was to leaders of an army. The men are anxious. I can hear them pacing in their tents nearby. They are fed not by water or food, but by a passion for revenge, to destroy Nishoku. Even Master Tsuyoshi is going to fight, despite his age. He has learned how to use light essence almost as well as us native adepts. I wonder how I'll feel once I see the high walls of Kyoryu, Nishoku's capital. I wonder how I will feel when the Shadow Empress shows herself to us. They say her power is such that she can kill dozens of men in the blink of an eye, but we won't hesitate. We've come this far. Our sun goddess lights our path. We will win. A bitter victory. June 3, year 10 of the Sixth Age. It should not have ended like this. True victory is almost within reach, just beyond our grasp. But even after Rio, even then, we couldn't stretch that lost inch. The rumors about the Shadow Empress were true. They didn't exaggerate one bit. In the end, we had to use the forbidden technique to trap her, and now we suffer the consequences. I can feel her in my chest. It gets worse if we are close together, so we have hardly seen each other at all since. I hope the talismans serve us well. Some say that we won. Indeed, perhaps we decimated Nishoku's forces. Perhaps we trapped their empress. But it didn't feel like a victory. Not at all. This is only a temporary peace. She'll do anything within her power to free herself. We have to avoid that at all costs. So we will guard this place. All the sacrifice we've made won't be in vain. Okay, so that's also why they didn't stick together and could be picked off one by one, basically. It physically hurt for them to be near.
Oh.
Volume 10 is 16, Pain. March 10th, year 15 of the Sixth Age. This pain is becoming unbearable. Master Tsuyoshi once described what having a corrupted soul felt like, but I could never have imagined it would be this extreme. I wish he was still with us, he and Rio. It gets worse every day. Pain doesn't even come close. It's in my soul. I feel it every minute, every second. I hear her voice in my head telling me to give up, imploring me. There's no way I can sleep. Passing some of it to Kiba barely alleviated my pain, and now he has part of her within him. We have to keep him confined. Oh, that's our bird. Okay, so that's his original name. I contacted Hikaru and Sora. They will help me pass another part to another adept. It's risky, but I can't hold on anymore. If only I were stronger. And, well, there are no further ones because he was killed. Okay. The view getting closer with each step. Yamiko. I thought it was Kamiko, not Yami. I think it can send you in the next room. What do I do with the talismans? How do I rescue you? Why was I thinking that her name was... Oh, now I remember that I made another mistake with... No. Okay.
Yeah,
If I remember
her
correctly
name
now, Kami is the
yes.
word for God, but what is the...
Oh,
Or what is Yami then?
it's usually Kami is usually translated to a god, but it's technically incorrect. But it's the closest thing people can compare it to.
Yeah, because it's basically the opposite of a yokai. You must be Sora then. What is that thing?
Ryo?
What did you just say?
Ryo, Mikado de Hono.
How can it be? I felt you. Ryo. That name. Who is Ryo? Tell me.
Ryo, Kaio Janata.
Kai's first general. Died here 5 years ago. The first. What does it have to do with me? You're Kaiho's general. Killing you is my duty. That's why I'm here. Yamiko, where are you?
Yamiko,
Yamiko?
mi fuerza.
Now it makes sense. What?
Calabarada.
That's why I feel him within you. You must be him.
Ryo, da Hono.
You are Ryo. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Ryo,
You're not Ryo. Then why are you holding me?
So,
You know it. You know it as well as I do.
Miyako Hira no Kyo.
Try to remember.
Nishoku.
We came here to defeat Nishoku. No.
Yuki, Hikaru.
All of us, everyone who joined to end Nishoku's tyranny. Even Old Master Tsuyoshi. No.
Yami.
The power of the Empress was overwhelming. We got to use the forbidden technique, but it wasn't enough. You pushed it further than anyone ever had.
Dayadame.
You sacrificed yourself to give us a chance. We still couldn't defeat her. Enough!
No Kyo.
I resisted, Ryo. Can't be true. If it is, then what have I been doing all night?
Saminuara Suaka.
Don't let the guilt suppress your memories. Let them flow. You have to remember.
Yami. Ryo.
Back, Ryo. What have I done? Slaughtered us all. My own men, as if they were animals. At first he couragely killed himself, and now you. Please forgive me.
Ryo. Dayadame.
Don't apologize. It wasn't your fault. You know who did this. My light. I can feel it fading. Ryo, don't mourn for me. I won't let you die. I can't lose you again. It's alright. I'm happy. Happy I saw you again. My soul is finally... Sorry? And that is the truth of it all. Kibo? All of the talismans, and even the fragment in the birds. I'm free. I'm free. You did it, Aragami. Come here with me. You're amazing. Even in the face of adversity, you did it. I'm so grateful. It's been a perfect Aragami. Come, I'll reward you. Or could you? What? How could you use me like that? Those visions were fragments of my past. My mind trying to remember everything since the beginning. What are you saying? You would take me for a fool. I remembered everything. I'm not getting in my head ever again. Are you sure? Save me, please. I'm trapped. We were attacked. Yamiko, Shadow Empress. Impressive. Took her time, didn't she? Didn't touch her. Oh, well. That's how you speak to the one who gave you life? That's right. A reincarnation. General Rio of Kaiho, brought back to life by you to further your own twisted goals. You knew it the whole time. You kept stringing me along. I didn't plan everything. I was just as surprised as you when you started remembering things. I just summoned your soul to the cemetery and forced it into a shape. I didn't know these memories would come with you. By the way I got you to rescue me was brilliant, right? We were so close to working it out a couple of times. I knew you were ruthless. This... Were those visions of your past another ruse to earn my trust? You were never supposed to see that. That's the second reason I'll kill you. But now you ask, I suppose the link between our souls, the one that let you see into my past, occurred because of the fragment of my soul that you stole from me when you died. Don't you think it's time to return it already? It's the first reason, by the way. Fine. You'll kill me and your soul will become whole again. You'll gain all your power and I, the last Kaiho officer, will be dead. But tell me, Shadow Empress, what will you do then? You're alone. We destroyed Nishoko 5 years ago. Only a few lowly fanatics remain in hiding. And without your counselor, Hyo, how far do you think you'll get? We knew all about it, by the way. And Hyo was the brains behind Nishoko, and you were the brute force, the tool he used to spread fear, to command these lands. How dare you? How dare you? I won't kill you just yet. You saved me after all. Let's play a game. That's all you have to do in answer, Rio.
One hour in, almost.
And yeah, this is the final battle.
Yeah, and I'm gonna check something. I got a ping. Oh, it's from Derby.
There you are.
Asking if it's all. They say they might hop on stream if it's all good.
Okay, you can join.
And they ask, of course, any guess on chance of Crisis 2. I'm gonna guess. Yeah, I'm gonna reply to them.
Unlikely with Crisis 2, but yeah, they can join. Who do you think you are? Yo me your life. I'm your goddess. Almost had her. Come on. I guess. So, as in any good stealth boss fight, we have to get the drop on her. There you are. Okay, I'm presuming that's her heartbeat that we're hitting. Get out of the way before she blasts us. There she is. Hello. Oh, damn it, it's too close. But yeah, unlikely that we'll get the Crisis 2 today. Where is she? Damn it. Okay, so we need to hit her at least 3 times, I'm guessing. But yeah, all of this conflict, all of this death and pain, just because, just revenge upon revenge. Where is she?
And then she met Hyo, who just fueled that revenge.
Yeah. In a way, I guess you could say that he was indeed. Really? If anyone could perhaps be blamed the most, it may have been him, yeah.
Yeah, but also, we blame him, but also we blame the light adepts that murdered her family.
Yeah. Like, even Hyo was acting out of, well, revenge for other things. What is that icon?
I guess you could say, in a way,
it's a trap.
fanatics ruined everything. Like, it was fanatics that started it, and those that wanted revenge on the fanatics became fanatics themselves.
Yeah,
I guess you
just a chain of revenge over and over.
Yeah, and I guess you can say this. They hunted a monster and became the
one.
monster themselves.
Yeah, even Kaiho just seems to have completely genocided the entirety of Nishoko, even down to the